Happy Friday, and you're all very welcome along to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. How's it going? Hope you're all keeping very well. Happy Friday. We've made it to the weekend. It's grand. Whatever kind of headaches we were having during the week, they're gone. This is the start of something special. A clear 48 hours before Monday. I like this place. Hello to everyone. You're all very, very welcome along. We're on the ground here in Alaska. I checked it out earlier on and it looked nice. So our plan for this evening, we're going to take off here from a place called Wrangell Airport, Papa Alpha Whiskey Golf. It's all the P's tonight. P for Papa. P, 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 P. So we're going to head over to a place called Cake. That's Cake with a K. Then over to Petersburg, or Petersburg rather, and then over to Sitka. And what's interesting about Sitka, I remember from the good old FSX days, they had this kind of approach into Sitka at night time. And all those years ago, back in FSX, that absolutely blew me away. It was just like, wow. And there were the graphics. And now we have this. So it could be epic. Let's say hello to some peoples, shall we? Aidan Darty Aviation is here. He says, how are you, Murph? Hope you're good today. Very well, many thanks, Aidan. Happy Friday to you, dude. Kendra is here. So is Mark O'Gorman. Welcome aboard. Philip Breen is here as well. Happy Friday, dude. Ben McClure is here as well. Is Sticky Rice 82. Jake Body is here, along with UK Bay. He says, evening, Murph. Off to the wild of of Alaska. I nearly said Atlantic. We couldn't be much further from the Atlantic. But it's grand. TT is here. He says, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Jam Fjord has rambled into the room holding a pint. Hello, Jam. SK Sun is here as well. Says, let's hope there are no internet or gremlins about. Let's hope. And the rules are, if there is gremlins or the internet decides to bug out and say, haha, wait literally 5 minutes and then press refresh. Well, off camera, you'll have Murph here doing the dance, which remember is the moonwalk followed by the walk like an Egyptian. I'm not going to do it. One day I will. But yeah, it should be fine. Good evening to Papa Joe B. Happy Friday, my dude. Ed Reed is here. He says, gotta get these times figured out. No, it's not like, don't wait till like 5 in the morning. It's just like literally 5 minutes and we'll be sound. Flying Officer Kite is here as well, asking, is it on the North Europe server? It shall be. Coley 205 says, evening folks. Hello, Coley. Keen Lafford is here. Come on, Keen, what's the update? Jake Body says, I have 234 MS on North Europe. It should still be fine. I haven't found that this lags at all. So I reckon it should be just grand. Anna Lisa is here as well. Says, happy Friday. All good here, eating a twirl. Twirls are amazing. They're like a flake, only better. Benny P says, a very good evening. How's it going? Agent Ice is here as well. Good evening to you. Mr. Chippy has rambled in. Not sure if my wife will let me watch tonight. Hold on, Alaska? I'll get my coat. Mr. Chippy, you're very welcome along. Wolfie is here as well. He says, hello there, what's up? Not much. It's Friday. We've made it to the weekend. And it was a busy week. We had a lot on this week. We actually had some pretty cool flights. So we did Germany on Monday. We did Ireland on Wednesday. And we're in Alaska today. Who knows where we'll go next? I was thinking of just booting up a flight and not telling anybody where we are, and you have to try and figure it out. But well, as you can see, we're kind of in a remote area. It mightn't go too well. So we'll see. Ed Reed asks, what time is it in Ireland now? It's streaming time, which is 2010. 2010. It's 10 minutes past 8 o'clock in the PM. So it's early. We have a whole night ahead of us. So make sure you have your agreed beverage. As we settle in for the night shift. That shall be the plan. The Burko Flyer is here. He says, hi Murph, good evening to you. Nelsify is here. He says, story boss. Story Nelsify. What's happening, my man? Gary Skaggs is here as well, as is Lux Martin. He says, what server? It'll be on the North Europe one later on, guys. Zektech is here as well. Good evening, good evening. The Sean Bowman wants to know, when's it coming out on the Xbox? I believe it's going to be before Christmas. Now, we do have some news in relation to updates from Microsoft, but it doesn't, unfortunately, have anything to do with the Xbox. But Colonel Fork85, who is our resident guru of information and, like, kind of knowledgeable things in general, keeps us all going with information. So I'll share some of that with you now shortly. Jim Oates is here as well. Good day to you, Jim. Billy says, for some reason the stream was not in the currently streaming list. Had to search it up. Well, that's never a good thing, but I'm glad you found us. And welcome aboard. Sim Murray 1234 is here as well, as is Jawaku. Is it Jawaku or Jawaku? It's quite okay. Mold Junction is here. He says, hello from North Wales. Hello from I was going to say Middle Earth. Middle Ireland. It feels like Middle Earth sometimes. Lots of hobbits around. The Chasman has rambled in as well. He says, good afternoon from New York. The Chasman, good afternoon to you. Sending you a whole lot of love and, well, good thoughts on this very momentous day. September the 11th, of course. So, yeah, so all our positive thoughts are with you and all the people of New York and the United States. And that's going to be pretty much the same across the entire world as we remember this sad day. Keen Lafford says only 249 days to the Eurovision. Keen, what's that in minutes or seconds? You have 8 seconds to answer. Go. Kieran Nile is here as well. He says, hello. Bartman7490. He says, good evening and happy Friday. Dangerous Brian has stepped into the room. Good evening to you, Dangerous Brian. As Cockney John is here as well. So far the internet's holding up, lads. I'm just any minute now. E-Core is here. He says 6 days until the RTX 3080. So I watched one of the review videos from Jay's 2 Cents, and yeah, I'm looking into the tower that I have. There seems to be kind of plenty of room to squeeze in either a 3090 or a 3080. Depends on how big the kitchen is going to be. But let's not mention the war, shall we? So we shall see. Billy's here. He says, Erling is a nice little gem of a song I found recently. Nice one flying around. If you'd like to check it out. Billy, if you want to put it up on the Discord, we'll certainly check it out. I hope it's I hope it's not what the second part is. Aidan says, what's the story down in Tip this evening? No story. It's kind of grey and gloomy and it's gone cold. It's like 13 degrees or 12 degrees. And you can certainly feel it. But not with the warmth of you guys. So it's all good. Strat4D is here. He says, hello from Seattle. Hello from Ireland. Good evening to you. Or good afternoon to you. Seattle. Wow. That is a place I would like to go. Ed Reed says, for your information, YouTube notification has just popped up. Well, better late than never. So that's a good thing. So we're all here. And Elisa says, we need that dance demo before the internet wigs out. No, it's I'm still practicing. So you have to moonwalk whilst doing the walk like an Egyptian. And I reckon I'm going to throw in the Bolshka or the Russian. Do you know the where you get? I can't do it, but you know the one where you kind of kick your legs when you're hunkering down. You know it. We'll see how we go. Jer is here as well. He says it should be interesting flying this evening. I think it will be. Yes, I'm so far. It's look at the scenery. It looks well. Now the airports aren't any handcrafted ones. Stewart, of course, which isn't terribly far from here, over in Canada, is one of the handcrafted airports. But I said I'd keep it with Alaska, just because. Well, why not? We shall see. The Modern Tornado 81 is here. Good evening to you, Modern Tornado. Happy Friday. Billy says, I'll pop in there now. Cool. Right, so, our plan. Oh wait, doesn't work on this screen. Ha ha ha. Our plan. So on the ground at Pog, do you remember Pogs? The coins. Weren't they called Pogs? You have to flick them and whack them. Anyway, that was P-O-G-S. This is Papa Alpha Whiskey Golf. We're going to fly pretty much up to the northwest, up to Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo, which is a place called Cake. And that's Cake with a K. And I suppose you could almost say Cake by the Ocean. Start humming that in your head if that doesn't get stuck. I don't know what will. So it's going to take us about kind of 30 minutes, give or take. And once we get up there, we'll open up to multiplayer. Then we're going to continue on over this neck of the woods. And when we get to this neck of the woods, we're heading over to this neck of the woods, over to Sitka. So let's see how it goes. This is all relatively uncharted territory. I don't know the area, but it'll be grand. Keen Lafford jumps in with the update. 249 days, 23 hours, 45 minutes and 34 seconds to the Eurovision. That's what I like to hear. Aidan Darley says, thanks Murph. I won't ring three anymore for the internet issues. I'll just walk like an Egyptian. I'm telling you now, it does help. Cake on Sea. Neck of the woods, says Billy. He loves it. Well, it is the neck of the woods. It's just one of these places. So we're in the X-Cub because it's just a tidy looking airplane, I think. You should have time for... It'll be grand. There'll be loads of time. So as I said, we're on the ground, so we're going to start up our little machine here, taxi on out, and start our little flight. So as we do, we kind of throw caution to the wind and wing it, if you know what I mean. So we're going to turn our fuel on, and the fuel gauges one left as we scoot across here, or one right. So that's where our fuel is, which is grand. McCartan Coy says, that is my saying, neck of the woods. As Andrew Noble has stepped in, he says, hello, Mr. Murphy. Hello, Mr. Noble. Good evening and happy Friday to you. But we shall see. Okay, so the mixture, that's okay sitting out where it is. We need battery power, so battery on. I do like the sound of the little ping. Nav light's coming on here now as well. Our fuel tank is on. Mixture's going to set to rich. Get a prop up here as well. Open our throttle about half an inch. And let us see. Do we need to do anything here? No, I think everything looks fine. Clear prop. Oh dear. Okay, that should be select left. Run left, and then that should be there. Let's try it again, shall we? Take two. Okay, what are we forgetting here, Murph? Master's on. Oh, ignition. Yeah, that just happened live on stream. You've seen it here first. Let's do it this time. Third time's always a charm. Better late than never. We have power. Yes, that is the level of intelligence tonight, as we have some power. But it's totally grand. Panda Licious is here as well. Good evening to you. Modern Tornado says, shout out to @Corma99 on Instagram. Considered it shouted out, I suppose. In other words, what neck of the woods do you come from? Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, neck of the woods is like that location or this location. Modern Tornado says, Mayo person watching here. As Kenneth nicely points out, Mags next to the Batmaster. Yeah, they're over here. The ignition switches, which is grand. Country Guy is here. Hello, Country Guy, and happy Friday. So before we go, I want to say hello to some peoples because they support the YouTube channel, and there are loads of supporters over on Twitch, so I'll address you all as a collective community. My extreme and most grateful and what's the word I'm looking for? Heartfelt, gratitude, oh, hang on, there is a word for this. My most profound thanks, there you go, that works better, to all of you on Twitch who are subscribers and followers to the channel, and a shout out to those of you over here in the world of YouTube who do the same. So we'll start off with our ground crew. A big shout out to Andy Shaw, Neville Johnson, Philip Breen, Sticky Rice 82, Shivam and Ludos. My thanks to you all very much. And to our co-pilots we have Jim Oates, Scott Voigt and the Vidya Crusader. To all of you peoples, thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate the support, and cheers. Our beverage tonight is a typical Irish beverage. Which is kind of strong. Didn't mix that one right. Dingle Gin. There is Dingle Gin in the house, if you guys want to Google what Dingle Gin is. But it's all good. Aaron Bailey is here. Good evening to you. Paul Carson is here. He says, hello from Belfast. Hello, Paul. Good evening to you and happy Friday. Ed says, it's a very happy room. At the minute, wait till you see some of the runways that they have to land at. And we might turn on the wind, like a crosswind. Ben McClure says, also, hello from Belfast. Good evening, good evening. Aidan says, the Irish Air Corps just got 3 Pilatus PC-12s. I think they arrived in yesterday from America. Correct and right. And they look fantastic. And Lisa says, oh yes, Dingle Gin. It is quite nice. Tarso is here as well. Good evening to you, Tarso. I wonder if we see some wing ice. We might. You wouldn't know your luck. Jovic Staden is here. I'm still on FS 2004, but plan to have the new sim by New Year. Nice, dude. Awesome. So Flight Sim 2004. Was that the Century of Flight one? I think it was. As Furos1 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Really appreciate your support. But yeah, Flight Sim 2004. Dude. Stuart Payne is here, and he walks in the room and literally says, I'm here. Good evening to you, Stuart. I hope you're keeping well. How did your trip go? David Shannon says, I'm back. From Kerry. Hello to Kerry. The Burgo Flyer says, live weather at Cake is VF4. Keen Laffer says, Ireland have an Air Force. I'm shocked. We don't. The Irish gave its entire Air Force to the United States because we weren't using it, and, well, they kind of wanted it. So that's what happened. But it's really ours, and that includes our armed forces and naval service as well. We just kept what we needed, and we gave them guys a loan of it. Modern Tornado says, are you going to fly from Knock? At some stage, yes, we'll do a flight from Knock. No problem at all. So we're going to cut back at the jibber jabber because I'm sure you guys want to get airborne. So we have a quick look around here. We're going to taxi out. Doesn't it look kind of nice? I think it does. So we have some nav lights on, strobes, avionics can come on, landing lights, pulse lights can come on here now as well. So go ahead and set our barometric pressure. All this should be good. Fuel pump don't need for the moment. Alternator we need, otherwise we'll drain the batteries and it'll all turn out to be horribly wrong. Just so you know, the first leg is usually not on a group flight, and the reason being is I have a fantastic track record with the internet going and it breaks usually during the first leg. So what I'll try and do on the second leg, we'll open it up to multiplayer, and let's see what we can do. Samuel Dye is here. He says, good day to you, Murph. Hello, Samuel Dye. As how do we pronounce this? Is it Dainty? Or I think it's Dainty. Dainty says, hello, Murph. Good evening to you, and I hope I've pronounced your name right. Benny P says, I never tried Irish gin. I'm not sure if I can buy it here in Belgium. When there's a will, there's a way. We managed to get poutine all over the planet. Dainty. Here we go. I feel chuffed with myself. I was able to pronounce it without making a complete and utter... where are we at now? Annalisa says, I'll get my dancing shoes on for the first leg then. Annalisa, moonwalking whilst doing walk like an Egyptian, and then the Russian Cossack thingy. You know what it is. Okay, let's go here, shall we, before we make a bigger fools of ourselves. So transponder, we're going to go to 1200 VF4 and altitude reporting. Hit that one to on. Add a bit of power here. Echo India is here as well, as is Joe Biden. Good evening to you, Joe Biden. Got Border Collies is here as well. Good evening to you. As we're going to taxi on out. Let's fly, and hopefully that the ground vehicles don't crash into us. Left and right look kind of okay. As we kind of up our seat here with the space bar. That's a real handy kind of a gadget. The yellow van blocks the door. Okay, so we're going to have to do a left arrow here. So we're going to back taxi for a jiffy. Even though this plane will pretty much take off on a sneeze, we're just not going to risk it, if you know what I mean. Joe Biden says, you remember Matthew Vernon? I do. As we taxi on out here. This button here, Murph. I do like this airplane. I'm getting more attached to it. This or any of the Cubs, I do like them. But this one in particular because it has an autopilot. Okay, this should kind of do us. We'll go one notch of flaps, and we'll verify that a flap came down, which it did. We can see it here on the wing. As we use our... Oh! Imagine if I tipped it over. Could you imagine it? Could you imagine it? Could you imagine it if I tipped it over? Modern Tornado says, I prefer when you talk to the chat. So do I. Otherwise, I end up talking to myself. And I've had some good conversations with myself, you know. But it's always better to talk to real people. Okay. Are you guys ready to go? We're ready to go. Joe Biden says, let me see. This is his nurse. Well, that's fantastic news, Joe Biden. Ecor says, I have some lag. A yellow van parked in. Did you ever play with VR glasses on? Asked Daniel. Watch what you're doing here. This is what happens when I talk to the chat and try and fly. Ooh. Take off power set. Let's get airborne first. There's 50 knots. We're getting light. And take off. Super Flight is now following. Many thanks, my dude, and happy Friday. So, what's obviously cool about Alaska in the summertime is there's amazing mountains that you can see them a little bit better. Bring our flaps in, but not only that, it's very green up here. Kidnapper says the Russian dance is called Hopka or Hopika. The specks of dirt in the windscreen keeps making me think that I have dirt on my phone screen. I do that a lot, yeah. I was just like, man. Okay, so we'll gain a little bit of altitude here as we'll try and follow this magenta line. Get our little airplane trimmed here if we can. That's all working really nicely. Jump down here to our autopilot. We're going to go to, how do we do this? So we need to go to GPS mode or FMS mode. We're going to go to nav mode. Flight director's coming on. Autopilot engage. We're going to go altitude select of let's go for 3,000 feet. We're going to go V speed and we're going to go for 500 feet per minute. And hopefully this will do the thing that we wanted to do. God Border Collie says, check out Passy. It's the Ericsson Air Station on the Aleutian Islands. Duly noted. We must have a look. Have you seen the Kit Fox in the marketplace? Big Tire just brought it over. I had a quick look, Ryan. It doesn't seem to be getting great reviews. Doesn't look great. What is trim on an airplane, says Modern Tornado. So basically, watch your RPM here. So you have a trim, right? So as you take off and the airflow is hitting the wing, and you have to hold them forces, physically hold the forces, or in the simulator you kind of have to hold the joystick there. If you use a trim, it'll act as a small little flap on the aileron or the rudder, depending on if you're using your pitch trim or your rudder trim. So it'll act as a small little flap that comes up at the back of your elevator, so it moves up, thus releasing pressure on the stick or joystick so you can let go of it, technically, if it's trimmed out correctly. So in a real aircraft you kind of have to, the yoke or the yoke definitely will stay exactly where you let go of it if you have it trimmed right. In the simulator, the joystick or yoke will just go back to its kind of zero position, a neutral position, and that's what that does. So it's a night of learning ahead of us. Joe Biden asked, is your PC pre-build or build? It's pre-build or build? It's a build. As in, did I build it? Well, I kind of spec'd it. Cop Slayer is here as well. Good evening to you. Angle first, then trim, says Ed Reed. Ed is 1,000,000% correct. Ivan is here as well. Sorry I'm late. However, I have a note from my mum. Ivan, I want to see this note before this class is finished. For your continued late ammunition, you're very welcome along. So we're here. And we're going to check out some sceneries, shall we? Hello, Alaska. What do we reckon? Does it look nice? Nolene Holden is here as well. Good evening, Nolene. Happy Friday. That kind of looks nice there. R4M is here as well. Good evening. Gobslayer says, what parts of Alaska? We're after taking off here from a place called Wrangell, we're heading over to Cake, Petersburg, and then Sitka. Or Sitka, but I think it's Sitka. So yeah, the PC, it's a custom built PC, so you can't buy this in the shops. However, there is a website I can refer you to if you want to check it out. Modern Tornado says, nice music. Thank you very much. The amount of detail gone into the trees here in Alaska, it's amazing. Mark Keating is here. He says, hi Murphy, I've been following you for the last few weeks. Good show. Many thanks, Mark Keating, and happy Friday to you. I hope you're keeping well. And I'm delighted you're liking the content. Keane Laffert says, Han Solo or Indiana Jones? Here's one for you, Keane. I'm going to say Jack Ryan. Daniel says, building your own PC is actually quite fun. It absolutely is. And good evening, Daniel Guberman. You're very welcome to tonight's stream. Hope you're keeping well, dude, as we have some phenomenal looking mountains here in the distance. Well, this just looks kind of pretty. Jump back in here, just make sure. So we're holding now at 3,000 feet. Our flight plan looks somewhat clear. Let's hope it lasts, shall we? Ryan says, is density altitude correctly represented in the game? I haven't seen anything or anyone talking about it. Density altitude, yes, I believe it is. Modern Tornado says, I wish you could reply to someone in chat. Who did I miss? If I miss anyone, just be sure to, well, put it in again. So the site where I bought my PC, it's called pczone.ie. He's located here in Ireland, in County Kerry. I'm not affiliated to them anyway. It's just, well, if I got a nice, if I find good value and a good service, I will kind of let everyone else know. There's nothing in it for me, but if you guys want to check out the store, you can custom build a PC. I don't believe he's the 10th generation CPUs in it yet. He has the 9th generation ones there, but you can definitely check it out. I found it to be the best value over my neck of the woods, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to press buttons all over the shop and it's just not working. There we go. Oh no, it's specs. Look at that. Murphy, you big gum. There we go. Technology. Modern technology. Dangerous Brian says, Naughty Murphy. No, I have. It's exclamation mark specs. I added in the S. Stuart Payne says, Murph, have you seen EGGS by UK 2000? Oh, mama, it's nice. Is that Bradford? Not Bradford. Is it? No, it's Bristol, I think, isn't it? I must check it out, Stuart. Productions is here. Eggs. While Gabriel is here. Good evening to you. Ed Reed says, be careful buying those new video cards. They are a 10 pin now. Or EGGD. Ah. Look at the state of that view. Yeah, Bristol. Definitely have to check it out, Stuart. I heard you. I read over on Discord you were really liking it. This place is really nice. So it should be exclamation mark specs, SPECS. They've even modelled in the fire brakes. They absolutely have, yeah. So they're reading that from like satellite imagery. And all the trees, they used their artificial intelligence. Some 1.3 trillion trees. And it looks absolutely amazing. Mal Walsh is here as well. Good evening to you, Mal. Happy Friday. Michael is here. He says, Alaska is one of the best places on the planet to fly. Don't push weather. Stuart Payne says, I went glacier climbing on the southeast of where we currently are. Awesome. Modern Tornado says, if you want to share how old you are. Ooh. This is always fun. So, chat. Hang on, I go for the boyish young looks. So, chat. What age do you put on Two-Tone Murphy? And be nice, but not too nice, if you know what I mean. Dangerous Brian says, it's not working. We need to do something about that. Okay, let's... I'm going to pick who I like out of these answers. So, Got Border Collies reckons 35. Tam, I reckon 20. Tam, you've gone up so many points in my expectations of you. Stuart Payne says 34-ish. Mr. Gamer is here. He says, hello from Switzerland. Alaska is so beautiful. It looks great. Good evening, Mr. Gamer, and hello to Switzerland from Ireland. I shouldn't have done this. Celtic Warrior 33 is here. He says, I'd say 43. Jadekin says 29. Modern Tornado says 40. Billy says 22. Much love to you, Billy. Philip Breen says 44. Ed Reed says 45. Mark Orman says 40. Production says 59. Kendra says you were born in the last century. I tell you, yeah. Annalisa says I'm going to say 35-ish. Ivan says 38. Kieran Niles says 42. Javuka says 36. Ryan says 37. 37? Ali asks, do you have the Falcon 50? In X-Plane 11, I have a Falcon 50. Joseph Gambino is here. He says, hi Murph, greetings from New York City. Good evening to you, Joseph. Happy Friday, my dude. And sending you much love and good vibes on this day. Agent Ice says 41. Mr. Gamer 25. McCartan says 36. Orpher M says 29. Stuart Payne says 42. And Keen Leffert says more than a decade. Mr. Chippy says a young looking 47. Piet Laris is here. Make sure you go and have a look at McKinley Denali. Coincidentally, I flew there yesterday and it looks pretty sweet. Cool. Stephen Lowe says 41. I need to have serious words with my makeup artist and my mirror and whatever lighting I'm doing. Trevor W is here. He says, what's up, dude? Hello, Trevor. Happy Friday, dude. Stephen Lowe says 41. E-Core says 32. Okay. You might be shocked to hear this. Annalisa says, gives a look at your face again. Hang on. I need to find the right battery for my camera. The right battery for my camera? No, don't. You want to see my face? I'll show you my face. There, can you see it? Can you see my face? Alright, guess again. I joke, of course. I'll give you a clue. I was born in the 80s. That should help. Oh, look at that. My camera went all dark. I was born in the 1980s. So somewhere between 1980 and 1990, somewhere in between. Scott Briggs said he's a handsome... yeah. I'll probably get away with that. But good guesses all around. Some were kind of nice, some were not nice. You know, those of you saying I was... Not that there's anything wrong with that age bracket, but I just think that, you know, the old canvas hasn't been weathered enough to say it's, you know, 50. Thanks. For those of you who said 20s, by the way, you're all invited around for dinner. And some afternoon drinks. I mean, after dinner drinks. Ah. The real question is why Murph has a picture of Clooney really handy. But was it? That's called a selfie. That's a selfie. So we shall see. I'm 35. There we have it. On that bombshell, that camera goes off. Well, I quickly run out of the room and start immediately crying to my wife to say they think I look very, very old. Annalisa says, yes, she was right. Do I win anything? Annalisa, you win the title of being correct. And well done. And from now on, you are responsible for answering all the hard questions. Hello, Alaska. Siggy Ray says, my mum says he is a handsome man. Scott Briggs is here, said Friday pushing the envelope. Oh yeah. God Border Collie says the accent makes you sound older. Philip Breen says, what? You're only 5 years older than me? Irish Scotch keeps you young. It absolutely does, Ed. Annalisa says, woohoo! First time in my life. Celtic Warrior says, I always have a picture of George Clooney handy to attach to me dartboard. Don't be like that. He's a Dapper Dan man. McCartan says, sorry Murph, I was 1 year out. Me, I'm a cool 74. 74? You're as young as you feel, or as, well, you're not as young as you, seemingly you're not as young as you look, or you're not as old as you act. Ryan says ETA in the next 10 minutes, I would think. The Vidya Crusader is here. He says, hi everyone, working away, enjoying the banter. Good evening to you, the Vidya Crusader. Mark Intella is here. Hey Murph, happy Friday, hope all is well. And to you Mark, happy Friday to you too, my friend. Hope you're keeping well. Mal Walt says, you're still a baby, as I'm 75 years young. That's quite okay. I'm sure you guys have some epic stories to tell. Luke Boomer is here. He says, good evening from the Netherlands. Good evening to you. Happy Friday. God Border Collie says, I used to work on flight helicopter. Our tail number was November 352 Romeo Mike. Interesting. Mark O'Gorman says, will you do a live stream next Saturday? Possibly. Kieran says, the scenery looks fantastic. It really does. Big Mungus is here. Hello, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. He says, remember when you were at 300 subs? You sprung right up. I certainly did. And it's all thanks to you lovely people. Pandalicious is here as well. On which server are you on? It'll be on the North Europe server. And once we get down to Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo, or Cake, that one will open it up to multiplayer. So we're not terribly far from our destination. We should be there in a couple of minutes. In about 10 minutes, according to our onboard navigational equipment. Montenegro says, need to have my dinner. Be back later, hopefully. You go and enjoy your dinner. Slimebro12 is here. He says, use a bigger plane. I would, but the avionics aren't ready yet in Microsoft Flight Sim. Some of the bigger jets they don't behave themselves. They're a little bit buggy for the moment, but there will be a patch coming out. So until then, we'll keep it low and slow. Mr. Chippy, no, he's just redeemed himself. I only guessed older because you were very wise. Sticky Rice says, with every Good Friday comes very hard quizzes. Stuart Payne says, where are we heading, by the way? Stuart Payne, we have taken off from Papa Alpha Whiskey Golf. We're going to head over to Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo, Cake. Then we're going up to Petersburg, Papa Alpha Papa Golf. Try to say that in English, Murph. And then we're heading over to Sitka, which is Papa Alpha Sierra, India. Dangerous Brain says, let's get the likes up, guys. Yeah, get them up past my age, you shower. No one of importance is here. Good evening. What colour scheme are you going with for the fitted kitchen? The colour of tears. Fresh tears and empty wallets. Daniel says, are those AI boats I see down there? It is possible. But look at this scenery. It's beautiful, isn't it? King Never says, I have an epic story to tell. Give it a shot. JB Trip reports, I've just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. And happy Friday to you. Good evening. Mark O'Gorman says, I hit 49 next Saturday. Thanks, Murphy. All is good. E-Core says, Netherlands here. Viewers from all over the world. Absolutely. We have viewers in Ireland, England, America, the Netherlands, France, Germany, Australia. Someone's out in Hawaii somewhere. It's one of those nights. Wales, Scotland, England. The list goes on and on. King Lafford says, I went to Eurovision. That's what I like to hear. Steve35 is here. He says, watch out for the mountains. Oh, yeah. Stuart Payne is from Wales. JB from England. AJ Kitten. No, he's not. Jadkin is over in Scotland. Far Isle in Florida. JK Sun in Iceland. Space Crawler in Germany. Philip Breen says, I'm on the ISS right now. Signal's not great, but the view is fantastic. Space Crawler, good day. Good evening to you. What time are we over in Germany? Good Nacht. Tiki Ray says, Australia, Cambodia is watching. Cool. Annalisa is in Walkinstown in Dublin. Gopslayer says, I'm from America. We used to be a big deal. You still are. Jimmo says, Scottish, but I live in St. Louis. Nice. So we're getting close to our little airport here, which is always a good thing. Karen Isle says, I'm in Drumcondra. Land of the world's most dangerous roundabout, says Annalisa. The Walkinstown roundabout. As you're heading down to, what's it called up that neck of the woods now? Hang on, we think. Down by the Walkinstown roundabout. Is it the submarine? What was the pub down there? Keen Effort says, Clare County Tip, originally from Russia. Lancashire Coast. Pennsylvania from Papa Joe B. Philip Breen says, I'm up north in our wee potato island. Got Border Collie is French-Canadian, living in Atlanta, Georgia. Ah, the Jerry Tree. No, the Cherry Tree. The Jerry Tree. The Cherry Tree, that's the one. And also the Kestrel. Ah, yes, they're the places. So we're going to start our descent here. We're not very far away from the airport. Over here somewhere. Parallel says, even though they closed the airport for a few years ago, westernmost Aleutian Island has the airstrip in Microsoft Flight Sim, which will make flying around the world in a GA plane helpful. Cool. Nono Jacko says hi from Italy. Hello, good evening, and happy Friday. Sid Plays is here. He says yo two-tone. Stuart Payne says yo. I'm just no, he doesn't. He just says I'm yo. Stuart Payne, I'm just on a final in the 208. Mal Wald says Murph, I'm hoping to upgrade to a new PC next month, aiming high for an i9 10900 and a 3090 GPU. Mal Walsh, that'll be an incredible build. Brett Fro is here. Hi from Belgium. Good evening to you. Hi from Ireland. Happy Friday to you, Fred. I hope you're having a good one. Black IT, go in Russia. Russia is on our hit list of places to visit. Maybe not be tonight, but soon. Stratford D says, don't hit the bears. Daniel asks, does the autopilot not tell you when to automatically land or descend? Well, it kind of does, but that's only for using kind of VNAV mode. And VNAV I found to be particularly buggy. Steve35 says, hi from Canada. Niles Ducker is here from the Netherlands. Good evening. So from all of you in Canada and the Netherlands, good evening. Or good afternoon in Canada, Steve. Joe Blow Photo is here as well. Mark Intella says, hey Murph, I heard the second update should be a good one. Addresses quite a few problems. Indeed. I'll go through some of the information shortly. Ecor says, EH is our nearest airport. It's Eindhoven. Cool. I have been known to frequent the Netherlands. I do like it. I've been to Maastricht a couple of times. I've been in Eindhoven, Amsterdam. I was up in Texel, up in the north. My dad actually has a Dutch cruiser. That's the boat we have, and he keeps it on the Shannon. So yeah, I really like the Netherlands. It is a beautiful country, and the people are so nice. In Maastricht, in particular, we went over to see Andre Rieu a couple of times, and yeah, Maastricht is it's just beautiful. Mark O'Gorman wants a signed autograph for his birthday. Mark, hit me up. We'll do a signed autograph. I'll sign my picture that you saw on the camera a while ago. I know I tend to kind of resemble George Clooney a little bit. But that's when I was like in my early 20s. As I'm getting older, I notice I'm getting kind of grey hairs a lot. But that's quite okay. I shall be a silver fox. Or worse than that, I'll be a grey pigeon. I haven't figured out which one yet. Look at all the trees here. Keen Effort says, my life is complete until I go to the Lego house in Denmark, eat Dutch cheese in the Netherlands, and eat Belgian waffles in Belgium. Mando Rick, George Clooney's granddad. That's okay. Sticky rice. I love sticky rice. Early 20s. Wasn't that last year? So we talk about quizzes, right? What goes up that never goes down? What goes up that never goes down? I have a whole load of these ones, so like, you know. For the night is long and dark and full of terrors. Got some nice kind of little roads all up around here. As we're getting a small bit of chop, but that's okay. Autopilot coming off. We'll fly straight in. Look at this little runway. Sicky Rice says marriage. Fugly is here as well with all the emojis. Good evening to you. Steve35 wants to know my specs. They're in the description, or they should be on the description. King Lafford says it's Matty McGrath's birthday today.
500.
The answer to that question will follow shortly. There's a kind of a pause and a stutter. Behave yourself now, Sim. This is a nice little place, isn't it? Yes. Just gonna hold it here, bleed off a bit of speed. That'll probably do. There's a bit of a bounce. Alrighty. Well, we're down anyway, that's the main thing. Alrighty, and welcome to Cake. I wonder, is there actually going to be cake waiting for us? Ali is here. He says, hi guys, how are we? Good evening to you. The answer indeed is your age. What goes up that never goes down? Your age. Well, doesn't this place look all kind of nice? Okay, Murph, turn us around here. Okay, we'll taxi off the runway here onto the ramp. A decent landing. Well, we kind of bumped it in. That's okay. You got to taxi really slow on this machine here. And that'll probably do us. So, parking brake coming on. Scroll down here. Lights. So, landing lights off. Strobes off. Avionics can come off here now as well. Ignition switches off. And the battery comes off. Cool. MG Record is here. He says, hello guys, how's it going? I'm watching from Mozambique. Good evening. Butter landing, Murph, says Mark O'Gorman. Many thanks. Okay, so the drill that we do. MG Record has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. Happy Friday to you. There I am, in my young 35-year-old face. But yes, anyway. So I'm going to restart the sim. Because that's what we do. So while we're waiting for all this stuff to happen, Ali says, I have a riddle for you. Go on, Ali, give it a shot. So, we shall restart. George Clooney on my phone. Ludos is here as well. Good evening to you, Ludos. Happy Friday, my friend. I hope you're keeping well, my dude. So the updates. As we give the sim a few minutes to restart here. Patch 2 highlights. They're going to include performance improvements, ATC updates, UI updates, aerodynamic updates, aircraft updates, cockpit visuals and animation updates. That's always a good one. General aviation systems updates. Steve35 donated $5.49 through the super chat. Many thanks, Steve. I really appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much for the donation. Many thanks, my dude. Philippine says, I hope they fix the autopilot bugs. I reckon they will. This is a new song. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Anyway, I continue. General aviation avionics updated. Now that's a huge step in the right direction. Airliner system updates and airliner avionics updates. Again, that's another huge piece of news because for most of the time they're unflyable. Live weather updates, example, 225 at 3 knots, wind fixed, and the persistency is fixed. Benny P says, Murphy, do you take a tonic with your gin? Yes, I do. Dylan Vittel is here, or Vittel. Good evening to you. Philippine says, I hope they fix the autopilot bugs. They 100% will. Or at least, well, they said they're going to fix it, and it's already noted as a patch. Luda says, nearly 200 viewers, only 66 likes. Aww. They're probably matching the likes with the age that they think I am. I'm only joking. What else? Upgraded multiplayer servers, which is always good to hear. Marketplace updates. So if you guys log in, you'll actually see there's a couple of new items for sale in the marketplace, including the free Paderborn Airport from Aerosoft. Now it's about, I think it's like a 1 or 2 gigabyte download, but it looks very, very well. Aerosoft airports look quite good. The music is kind of, anyway. Marketplace update, yeah, I said that. So the content manager updates, localization updates, accessibility updates, camera updates, bus trip updates. Example, completion trigger is fixed, the completion list achievement is fixed, and world updates. A little birdie has told me a lot of the world updates are to do with fixing stuff that's missing. So let's hope that works, shall we? So let us see. Get our aircraft ready to fly. That looks good to me. So we are on the ground here at Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo, also known as Cake. And we have some people here already. So that is our departure. Our arrival airport will be Papa Alpha Papa Golf, which is Petersburg James A. Johnson Airport. That's where we're heading. It's not terribly far, it's only about 15 minutes, but by the time we get over there, after everyone loads in and we do a couple of loops around, we'll see. FF Proby is here, just left, was it Nanwillick, south of Anchorage. It's a must stop. Cool. Headed to Dutch Harbour now. Awesome, dude. Ryan says, would the game ever get more mods or add-ons than X-Plane? It's hard to know. Over time, I think so. McCartan says, hey Murph, love the chair you have. It looks good. The only thing, if it's leather, my dog would eat it. Is it leather? I don't know if it's leather. Maybe it's pleather. Not quite sure. Admiral Ted is here. I'm just like, Admiralty? Admiral Ted is here. Are you doing a group flight? If so, how do I join? So, if you want to join a group flight, bear with me. So on this screen, so if we're here, right, and say, for example, you've planned where you want to take off from and where you want to land to, when you go over to your flight conditions, the first thing you need to do in multiplayer, make sure you select all players. AI traffic, turn it off unless you want to see other AI traffic, but that's just going to absolutely eat your frames. And weather and time, you can either have it on live or preset. That's entirely up to you. If you leave it on preset, you can change it. So I leave it on preset. That's the first thing you do. So you make sure you're on all players. For me, where I am, I tend to fly on the North Europe server. It's closest to me. You guys got to be on the same server as me to be able to see me in the sim. Okay? So it's automatically, or its default is set to automatic. Hit the little drop down arrow and you can change these yourself. You just select whatever server you're currently on, change it to North Europe, and we should be away in a hack. So that's what you need to do in order to get onto the multiplayer. If you want to have a group flight or a closed group flight, which will say, I think, a maximum of 6 people, you can go to your friends list, right click on any of your friends, or click on any of your friends and invite to a group. Then this icon up here will light up to say that you can now do a group flight with your friends, which is kind of cool. So yes, that's how that's done. S. Voigt Assyria says, howdy y'all, late to the party. That's okay, Scott. You're never late. You arrive precisely when you intend to arrive. So I'm going to hit fly on this, and yeah, let's see what happens here, shall we? Dangerous Brian says, be right back. Play without me for a minute. Okay, Brian, 1 minute. Go, go, go. Philip Breen says, what are we flying, boss? Something low and slow. The slower the better. Angelica says, I would like to learn with you all step before taking off and landing. Yeah, 100%, man. Just there are tutorials built into the sim already. We don't necessarily kind of follow any procedures here. Well, we kind of do, but like not all the time. Hello, peoples. So we have peoples, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off these tags until our landing challenge. So turn the nameplates off. This kind of keeps the screen the way I want it to do. Stuart says, do I need bush tires? No, there is tarmac runways or asphalt. Denise says, Captain Gandalf. Scott says, been to Skagway yet? No. Let's check it out. GMax says, I have the game max graphics on an RTX 2070. Nice. Andrew Bonica is here, first time on the channel, just on my lunch break, loving Microsoft Flight Sim so far. Good evening or good afternoon to you, Andrew. Happy Friday. You're very welcome along. I hope you're having a good day to be on your lunch break. And yes, I agree, dude. Microsoft Flight Sim, absolutely fantastic. He then goes on to say, I need to find a flight joke. My Cytec X65 is a pitta and the keyboard is worse. Yeah. Like you can use an Xbox controller on this, but it would be better with the it would be better with a joystick. For me, I think a joystick is going to be a better investment because you're not going to be able to use a yoke with helicopters when they do come out. However, if you have the means and you can afford both, well then get a joystick and a yoke. Daniel says, please do a tour of Egypt and the pyramids. Yes, it's on our list of things to do. How does Disneyland look in France? Pretty well. It looks very good in Florida as well. Okay, so our planation here. Ugh, it's very busy. How does Disneyland look in France? Yeah, we've already read that. So, here we are, back in our little plane. Admiral Ted says, could you show the multiplayer options again? Yes. So, oh, we can't. We're in a different screen. But basically, when you're in the menu where your map is and you're selecting your flight, okay? When you go over to flight conditions, i.e. the weather, over in the top right-hand corner, when that opens, up here, you'll see like multiplayer. It'll have What's the first option? It'll have 3 options. Pick the one in the middle that says all players. Make sure you're on that. The second thing you need to do is on your username, click it and change your...
You need an Apple Music.
I don't know, is it my accent? Or is it the fact that Siri is bonkers? It's one or the other, but that genuinely scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. Anyway, you need to change your server to North Europe, and it'll all be grand. So that's what you need to do. I don't have Europe, I have Europe Centre. No, it's there. FF Proby has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. So that's what you need to do. Anyway, back out here. Andrew says, what controls are you using? I have the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. And it's all gravy. Right now. This doesn't look right. Or maybe it is. Sky Vector. For all your flying needs. Are we going back the way? Maybe we are. PAFE. Over to PAPG. Yeah. Murphy's a genius. So we flew out this way, and then we're going to go back that way, and then we're going to go back over that way. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it's grand. Always follow directions from an Irishman. Safest thing you can do. In the whole world ever. Okay, so we're actually going back in ourselves, but that's okay. There was really nice scenery here, and we kind of came from this direction, so this should be good. Turn on the battery there, Murph. No, you don't need to add me. It's all good. Andrew says, yeah, I was about to buy the Warthog, but waited too long and they all got sold out. Yeah. Friends Plays is here, says, nice stream. Many thanks, Friends Plays. The Buzz, evening Captain Murphy, how's your Friday going? Well, up until a few minutes ago it was going grand, until I realised that my flight plan brought us kind of east to west, and what I thought was going to be a continuation of flying in the west is bringing us back to the east. But that's okay, we don't pay for the fuel, it's quite okay. It's grand. Wrong way, Corrigan. Yes, absolutely. But we're not going to let that put a downer on our flight tonight. Let's just say we have to go back and pick up something. But it's to a different airport, so I'm not overly worried. Okay, that should be... Let's have a look at this, because I keep getting mistaken. Pandalicious has now subscribed. Many thanks, Pandalicious. So we have left, right, or off. Grand, so we're up there to left. Left tank is always going to be the way forward. As Ian Fisher has just subscribed as well. Many thanks, my dudes. Happy Friday to one and all. I really appreciate the subscriptions. And yeah, cheers. Remind me to mix that stronger the next time. As in, put more mixer in. More tonic. Okay, so we need to get this machine started up here. Igniters come on, or the ignition switches. Our nav lights are on. Fuel goes in. Fuel pump goes on. Your fuel read here. Clear prop. We have a good start on our engine. Don't know why the prop is all the way back there. Up you go, you devil. Colonel Fork is dishing out the gifted subs. Many thanks, Colonel Fork, and happy Friday to you, my dude. I hope you're keeping well. Tom Filipino is here. Good evening. Colonel says, I'm lurking while spending time with my father. Well, Colonel, give your regards to your father, and many thanks for rambling in, my dude. It's very much appreciated, and we'll hopefully catch you on a stream soon. So we're going to set 3,000 feet into our altitude for our autopilot. Have a quick look around here. Oh, it's busy. Okay, so we're going to take out from this side and fly out the way, yeah? Because it's closer to us, so let's get this show on the road. What airport? Run up complete, I'm ready to roll, says Stuart. Cool. The airport is Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo. So, park and brake coming off. Add a bit of power here. Colonel Fork says, not sure what time, but I'll be on tonight flying over southwest England, then crossing over to Dunkirk. Nice, dude. I must definitely check that one out. Mike is here. He says, good evening. Tom Filipino says, stall competition. Sure, why not? This looks insanely epic. The amount of people flying tonight. Oh dear. There's a van and a plane. Yep, there'll be a lot of planes. There's a lot of planes tonight. Have you nowhere else to be on a Friday evening instead of clogging up the skies? But it's all good. Right, guys, as soon as you're ready, start taking off, and you can just kind of circle around the airport until we all kind of catch up with each other. That's okay, G-Mac, we'll wait for you. Andrew asks, those are all other online players. Yes, my dude. Did you see what I just did? Epic failure. I was reading the chat instead of taxiing. Whoa, look at them go, though. That was worth it. Let's change to this camera, shall we? Zoom, zoom, zoom. That's pretty epic looking. They're all taking off into the sunset. Bailey's is good anyway. You can get it. Wayne is here as well. Love it. I'd love to add one more, but I've got an hour left on my current flight. I'll join up later if you're still on. Cool. Yeah, so all these planes here you're seeing, these are, well, they're from most of you guys here in the chat. So if you want to join on, guys, it's an open server. Make sure you select the North Europe server. The more the merrier. We're all jumping on in. Jim Oates says, name tags please. Jim, we'll wait until we're doing our landings. Otherwise it gets real hairy. But don't worry, once we get once we start our landings, we'll go ahead and get them name tags turned on. So I'm just kind of taxiing out here, keeping my distance from people. Now guys, if you are using custom liveries, I have read a bug whereby custom liveries on multiplayer can cause issues. So if you have issues, it could be to do with the custom liveries. GMAX says, can you repeat the airport? It's Papa Alpha Foxtrot Echo. P-A-F-E. So that plane there, it's not a glitch, even though it looks like it. It's just the he's using a custom livery, which is fine. It's all gravy. This is going to be a busy flight. Okay, so we'll set runway heading. And, yeah. One notch of flaps and time to boogie. Oh dear. There's planes literally everywhere. But that's okay. Don't worry guys, after a couple of weeks, when you're all kind of more used to the sim and procedures and everything, we will start a bit of air traffic controller stuff. So we can kind of add to the realism and also have a bit of well, a bit of order to the stream. What do you think? Turn on your alternator as well, Murph, in case you what's the word I'm looking for? Drain, yes. We don't want to drain the battery. Okay, so 3,000 feet is what I'm aiming for. So flight director's coming on. We're going to go to heading mode, autopilot on, V-speed, we're going to keep at 500. which is good. So we're just going to continue to climb as we'll circle around the airport. Captain 737 is here. GMAX says, I have a 0.8 internet. That's not great. But let's hope it gets better, shall we? Andrew asks, are they going to have ATC only sim roles? My background is in ATC and would love to get my controller buddies in the sim. So they have VATSIM or Pilot Edge. They're like third parties that integrate with the sim. And it's fantastic. Captain Frank is here. Good evening to you, Captain Frank. Happy Friday, my dude. He says, hi, Captain. Great to see you again. You too, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Godwater Collies asks, which control system, yoke, etc. I use the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, so it's a hands-on throttle and stick. So it's a joystick and throttle. And it's insanely good. So we're going to adjust our heading here by 90 degrees. As we're going to circle around the base, just to get the airport, just so we can pick up all our peoples. So we're all starting to form up here a little bit. I'm aiming for 3,000 feet. Is there a button to turn on and off name tags? There is. So if you go into your main menu, go into options and go to traffic, and I think it's like the third option down on traffic, it says turn off nameplates. So you can do that. We continue our climb here. We're going to aim for 3,000 feet as the rest of our flying circus is forming up. We're starting to look fairly decent now. I like that flying circus. Modern Tornado was back. Well, how was your dinner? Was it nice? True asks, but can you turn off nameplates on the fly? Yeah, 100%, dude. Just go into your... Just hit escape and go into your options and you can do it from in there. Philip Breen says, this place is gorgeous to fly over. It really is. It's absolutely spectacular. And I've been looking for a while to find this kind of bush flying experience, and I was unsure how Alaska was going to be in the sim, and it's jaw-droppingly gorgeous. It's beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Andrew says the 6 DOF 6 degrees of flight rigs seem expensive. Yeah, so you can kind of get them. Ed is saying the North server is not available from the US. It should be. There could be a bug. Modern Tornado says fish and chips was nice. Captain Frank, go ahead. So we're just about to level off here at 3,000 feet. We can go ahead and get ourselves tidied up here. So bring our manifold pressure back a smidgen, get our prop RPM back a smidgen. Murph, the bush pilot. I wish. Wouldn't it be awesome, though? We have mad music. Donald Miller is here. Good evening to you, Donald. He says, hey, Murph, I hope you're having a great day so far. Super. How are you keeping, Donald? Ryan Ray says you're an amazing YouTuber. Thank you very much. I'm also here on Twitch. That means nothing, only that, well, I broadcast on YouTube and Twitch. Philip Reed says, I also learned the basics of autopilot, so it makes these flights so much more enjoyable. Just need to practice my landings. That's what it's all about, Philip. GMAX says, can you show me your server option? I can't at the moment. Because if I pause, the sim continues, and the guys will fly right by. Captain Frank says, oh, there's Murphy's Army. I salute. Chuck Young is here as well. Ed Reese says, bummer, I was trying to fly along. Just double check, Ed, if it still doesn't work, maybe restart the sim. You should be able to select North Europe. Just click on the server and just scroll down. North Europe should be there. Gene Kirstein is here. Ho ho hey. Good evening to you, Gene. Many thanks. Tom Filipino is now following over on Twitch. GMAX says, when I pause, the game stops. The game will kind of freeze, yes. Okay, guys, we're going to do another 90-degree right turn. New heading is 280 degrees. Donald Miller says, good day so far, off today. Nice. Shelley Gary O'Reilly says, Keen Lafford, bush flying is where you fly in mountains and all landings on dirt runways, I think. Correct. So bush flying is kind of like off the normal beaten track. It's way into the wilderness. And yes, it can be amazing. Oh yeah. Hi everybody. So there's more, holy moly, there's more coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've nearly 20 other planes here. This is awesome. Philip Breen says, I swear everything we do, I always end up about 40 miles behind. Don't worry, dude, we'll wait for you. Modern Tornado says, is bush flying not in Australia? It can be anywhere you want it to be. Daniel says, there was a TV show a while back, the world's most dangerous landing strips. You should try and land on some of them. 100%. Shelley Gary O'Reilly says, I didn't think... Hang on. I didn't think I would get that one, Murph. Thanks, no problem at all. Andrew says, imagine seeing that in real life. And Annalisa says, that looks brilliant. I have to say, it's looking really good. Okay guys, again we're going to go for another 90-degree right-hand turn. New heading is 010 degrees. Gianluca is here. Is it online? It surely is. We're on the North Europe server if you want to join in. Modern Tornado says, I would like to join, but I have no Xbox Live. It doesn't require Xbox Live because it's only available on PC, but I suspect once it does go on to the Xbox, it will require a live subscription. GMAC asks, what airport are we going to? We're going to head down to Papa Alpha, Papa Golf, Petersburg. Which is only about 20 minutes flying time, but the whole point of this was to do just a big, long kind of circle of the area, just so all the guys in multiplayer can catch up, and then we'll fly down. So at the moment we're doing well. We're doing very well. As Duck Power Gaming is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Andrew says, I think I should move my PC back into my home office so I can join while working. Gianluca says, I'm Italian, I'm following you from Italy. Ciao! Shelly Gary O'Reilly says, Murphy, just a question, do you fly in real life, and if so, what aircraft? So, I have a handful of hours in real life. Now, when I say a handful, you can count them on one hand. I have a couple of hours in a Cessna 172. But again, it's you know, I've done, what, 3 discovery flights? And 3 discovery flights, 2.5 hours and 1 hour. But it's kind of a while ago now. It's kind of... I haven't flown in... with COVID, I probably haven't flown in about 12 months. Which is a major bummer. Space Crawler says, nice package. It looks really nice. Andrew says, most of my time is in a Cessna 152. Yeah, but like, you know, apart from the looks that I have, being very George Clooney-like, so I've been told in the chat, just you guys said George Clooney, I didn't. I'm also a fairly kind of a biggish dude. Now I'm working on the biggish part. I need to get smaller-ish, but I'm a good kind of 6'2", and I wouldn't advise following me over soft ground. But I'm working on that part. I need to get the weight down just a little bit. But even space-wise in a 152, I'm kind of no use. So 172, absolutely fine. A PA-28, absolutely fine. So we'll see how we go. Modern Tornado says you should do a vlog on your next flight. That is my intentions. So eventually, once the channel kind of grows, and we get a couple of more people in here, and we can check on the old financial setup, it's very much going to be a case that I've already approached a number of different flying schools, whereby I want to do some recordings, and hopefully someday bring you guys along for the virtual discovery flight. And yeah, you guys can see what it's like in the real world. Eventually, I'd love to do that in this for this channel, to transition from the simulation or the simulator over to real world flight in real life and back again, and then make our comparisons. Because, you know, we often look at these videos whereby you'll see real life versus this, and they're interesting, but it'd be nice to kind of have the pilot's perspective to say, well, in real life, this is what you have to watch, and this is what you're doing, and see, can you actually do that in the sim? It would be cool. It's Michelle, my name. It's just a little confusing, says Michelle Gary O'Reilly. That's okay, Michelle. We'll call you Michelle. GMAX says, I just realised you have 2.85 thousand subs. I thought you had 185,000. You deserve more. Could you imagine if there was 100? I tell you, I'd have to be on the Ovaltine, because imagine trying to read out all the messages if there were that many people. I prefer kind of the smaller, close-knit communities. Like, we're over in Discord as well, if you guys want to jump on there at any stage. We discuss different flight things, we discuss bugs or problems, we try and help each other out. We have a huge knowledge base of people over there. But it's a nice, close-knit, small-ish community. But I like it. And I have to say, so far, and I genuinely mean this, everyone who tunes in, and those who are still watching, like we've people here since the very early days. And when I say early days, I'm only streaming about a month and a bit, maybe 2 months, really. And I have to say, like, there's people here from way back then, and there's people here from like the very beginning when I started making videos, which was about 2 years ago. And I have to say, I'm absolutely humbled, because I've met some really, really nice people. And I have to say, I really look forward to these streams. Daniel M is here. Good evening to you. Admiral Tez says, can you slow down a little bit? For you, of course, we will slow it down. Annalisa says, whoa, I remember when it was less than 200. I know, right? And there's loads here. Keen Lafford, Murph, is your name actually Murphy? Yes, it is. Murphy is my surname. Murphy's Law. Modern Tornado says, same, I like the small community, 100%. App Kerman is here. I'll keep an eye out in the sky here in Alaska. Nice. App Kerman, as we are flying this neck of the woods, does it look somewhat familiar? Don't mind these guys. They're just here for the view. Okay, so we're going to fly back on course towards this magenta line and let's see where it all lands. The Video Crusader says, thanks Murph, we try our best. Dangerous Brain says, 10,000 by Christmas. Now that's a target. No pressure. Daniel M, I hope you're keeping well, my dude. How is your Friday going? Annalisa says, and we look forward to tuning in. Nice. Stuart Payne says, I am the old guard now. Philip Breen says, well, my autopilot has bugged out and wants to do barrel rolls. One thing I've learned, Philip, if you, like, when you're flying an autopilot, don't disengage it, don't disconnect it. Keep it on for your entire flight until you're landing, and then restart the sim, and it should be fine. It's kind of a workaround. It's not ideal, but that's what we got to do. Wayne Papadopoulos, that's a great name, Wayne. He says, oh, geez, thanks for having us. Jam Fjord says, my wife is laughing at me because I've been like a kiddie kid about tonight's stream. Steve35 says, well, we are grateful for you hosting such a great channel. Many thanks, dude. Jack Moore is here. He says, what's the crack? The crack is mighty, Jack. And welcome. Michelle asks, what inspired you to get into aviation? Well, my childhood is pretty much all around aviation. I lived in a military base, Casement Aerodrome. I was born and raised inside the camp, and we lived in married quarters. So from the age of 0 to 18, that's where I lived. And the Casement Aerodrome is, of course, the home of the Irish Air Corps. So you know, Monday to Friday you wouldn't really venture up the camp because, well, it's busy. But certainly on the weekends you can kind of ramble around and look at things. And I'd spend most of my time very near the ramp watching planes and helicopters take off and land and doing their things. And they also had a number of old static aircraft, really old ones. Like there was a Vampire. We used to play in a de Havilland Vampire. That was our playground. But yeah, that's how I got into aviation. I've always liked aviation. Don't know what it is. Some people are just kind of drawn to it, you know. Got Border Colleagues asks, dare I ask why two-tone? Funny story, back in the day when I used to play soldiers, I got badly sunburned, and because I'm fair hair, even though it's kind of looking grey now, I have fair skin. So, you know, you only have to mention the sun and I start getting red, I start burning. So what happened to me was, I got sunburned, and because of the cap or beret you have to wear, and obviously a uniform that has like short-sleeved shirts, we went swimming that evening. And all the lads from Cork, they were like, HOTAS Toton, you're awful Toton looking. And that was kind of Jamaican. Hang on, we can do a better Cork accent. Oh, Murphy, you're looking very Toton. Yeah, that was a bit better. And basically, I was red and white. So it kind of stuck. And then people started calling me two-tone. App Camera says, yes, I have to say, it's pretty spot on. Cool. JB Trip reports, whereabouts from Ireland are you? Originally from Dublin. I married a girl from County Kildare. I spent a lot of time in Kerry, and now I live in Tipperary. So I've many accents. Scott Voight says, my wife has been enjoying some of the stream too. Well, please pass on my warmest greetings and regards, Scott, to your wife, and many thanks for tuning in. Jim Lucas says, is this VF4 or IF4? It's kind of VF4. Modern Tornado 81 says, will I change my name so you can say it easier? I like the challenge. Daniel M says, good, thanks Murph. Yours? It's been very good. We've had a busy week. And yeah, it's Friday. I'm delighted. Quiet weekend. That's what you need to have. Stuart Payne, you had about 60 subs and 2 people watching back in the day. I certainly did, Stuart. Stuart is here from the earliest of days. Dangerous Brain is here from the early days as well. History and Aviation is here. He says, hey, good evening, History and Aviation. Hope you're keeping well. Diane 3003 is here. Can you stream live an A380 in Microsoft Flight Sim? They haven't released an A380 yet, but when they do, I will, of course. The approach into Janelle is spot on, as is Kachikan and Barrow. Cool. History and Aviation says, how are you doing? How you doing? Doing good, doing good. How are you keeping? And happy Friday. Gabriel Little says, lucky there's no collision with other players, otherwise there will be carnage. I know, right? Blue Streak Simulations is here. Good evening to you. Mark O'Gorman says, contact Atlantic Flight Training. Your new idea. 100%. Many thanks for that, Mark. I'll follow up on that. Annalisa says, that's so awesome. So jealous of your childhood. It was off the hook. Absolutely off the hook. Speaking of off the hook, we're going to go to nav mode now. Are we on GPS? There we go. So we'll click the autopilot onto nav mode. That's going to follow this magenta line. Let's hop out here and check some of the holy moly. It's getting crazy back there. It's controlled, organized chaos. ETA is about 15 minutes. History and aviation. Well, you can't please them all, my dude. If it's not your cup of tea, that's quite okay. There's a lot of people in the chat, so if I forget you, or if I haven't got to you yet, just remind me. I do read all the comments, so bear with me. And we're kind of getting slowed down a bit with my dingle gin, but it's grand. Michelle says, now I love aviation. Yeah. Andrew says, okay, just got the PC in the office. Too late to join. Never too late. Admiral Taz says, the Air Corps flew over me the other day. Yeah, they got new PC-12s and they look absolutely fantastic. And Elisa says, OMG, it's a swarm. Kane Laffer says, where in tip are you? You don't have to share this. Let's just say I'm in the county. That narrows it down to like... Well, Tipperary's a massive county, but it narrows it down. I'm up kind of the north part of it. Mark Intella says, looks like Murphy's Flight School. G-Max says, game crashed. Aww. That's never good. Daniel Guberman says, awesome. Michelle says, can we praise this man? He reads out all the comments and gives awesome content. Well, thank you very much. There's a little button you can press to like nuke someone. And I think Brian already did it. Many thanks, Brian. Irop is here. He says, hello from Russia. Hello from Ireland. Good evening or good night in Russia. Hope you're keeping well. Would I be correct in saying happy Saturday? Hello, peoples. Annalisa says, praise be to Two-Tone. Copslayer says, I will fly it, they will come. Or if you fly it, they will come. 100%. Gianluca says, what's the speed now? Let's have a quick look. Around the 83 knots. We're taking our time to let some people catch up. And we're about 11 minutes away from our ETA. Jerry says, should be fun on landing this evening. I would hope so. Sticky Rice says, the Donald Trump button. That's what it is. It's a super button. Not everybody likes the stream. Sure, I know. But it's a really, really great group of people. Really nice. Fantastic, even. But there's always one. There's always that one guy. Nobody likes him. But that's okay. It's okay. Jamie Shepherd is here. He says, hey mate. Good evening, Jamie. I hope you're keeping well, my dude. Most of what I type is sarcasm. I love that name. Hello from Liverpool. Hope you and everybody else is safe and well. Well, many thanks, my dude. And hello from Ireland to Liverpool. I like Liverpool. I've been there before. Admiral Ted is here. Says, Athlone is nice. Athlone is nice. Chippy says, that's not a bad Trump. Sounds like a bit of a cartoon Top Cat. It could be a bit of everything. It kind of depends on the time of night, how accurate or not accurate the Trump is. Don't press that button, Murph. Anything could have happened. Oh yes, Benny from Top Cat. The more gin, the better the impression. Yes. That's usually the case. Gianluca says, why don't you fly in Italy in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? It will be interesting. If you go back through some of the YouTube videos, we actually flew around Rome. And it was amazing. It's pretty accurate to me, says Sticky Rice. Cool. Patrick Doyle is here. He says, up Wexford. Andrew asks, which server? Server is North Europe. So all our peoples are here. So let's have a look where this airport is, shall we? So we've got to go over this mountain range ahead of us. And looking at the height of this, we need to increase our altitude here, or we can kind of fly around it. Let's fly around it. So guys, we're going to select a new heading of 111 degrees to try and fly around this big mountain here. Raiden is here. He says, up Cork. Steve35 says, what a view. MG Record says, in Mozambique now is good night. Cool. John Fjord says, whoa, sorry guys. The moral of the story, don't be looking at your autopilot when you fly towards a group of planes. Ryan asks, do you think Microsoft will ever introduce water skiing so we can make fly in the water? Well, you can kind of do it with the icon, but yes, there will be kind of boat planes, I suppose, or water planes coming in. Benny P says, yeah, Patagonia will be awesome. 100%. But in multiplayer, there is kind of air traffic control, like a control tower or not. No, in multiplayer with us, we're in a kind of like an offline multiplayer, whereby it's just us, and there's lots of us. As you can see, we're kind of spread out all over the shop. So we need to fly into this little valley here and then hang a left. Wayne says, I'd love a 172 seaplane. Oh, yeah. Okay, we get our bearings here because we don't well, we don't hit any terrain here. New heading 091 degrees. So we can kind of see, we can fly through the valley here looking at our map. So we're going to go hard left and around. So if you bring up the map here and we zoom in, we want to fly in and around this way to get to here, yeah? So we're going to go around. That's the plan. So we're now going to turn left heading 051 degrees. Does it get a bit bumpy over the mountain areas? Says or asks Annalisa. It absolutely does. So the updrafts and the downwinds and all that, or upwinds and downdrafts, they're modelled very well. It gets bumpy. And we have this handy synthetic vision here as well, so we can kind of get a good idea of where we're trying to go. So if we jump outside, we're going to go left again and then around to the right. So we'll just kind of take our time here. The people who made this must have had spent years and years, says Daniel, 100%. It's at least 5 years in production. Sicky Rice, as Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. Gianluca says, is there chat with other players? No, and that's something I'm trying to work on. I've been chatting to some people who make add-ons and stuff. So basically I want to see, can I add my own little network, and anyone who flies with me, we can tune our radios into one frequency and transmit to each other. That's what I'm trying to do. But I reckon this is going to take a small bit of time. But hopefully we'll get it sorted. Okay, so we can now go to lower altitude. Going to bring it down to 2,000 feet, V-speed it, and we go for 500 feet per minute. Andrew says, I'm taking off from PAPG in a Cessna 152 Red. Cool. The scenery down here is amazing looking. Scott says, can't you just use the voice channel on Discord? You can, of course, Scott. That's one way of doing it. But it'd be really handy to tune in your radios if you're flying in the sim. Just to chat with the other pilots within the sim. Do you know the kind of way? Daniel says, just going back to the family connections planes. My granddad was an RAF engineer after emigrating to England when he was younger. Cool. That was a very interesting career, I would imagine, with the RAF. Worcester Flyers here. Hello. How's it going? David Dynamite says, wow. Hello, David Dynamite. Try that in English, Murph. David Dynamite. How's it going? We have some nice views. Let's jump outside here, shall we? Hey guys, how's it going? Many thanks, Ahmed, for the subscription. Really appreciate it, my dude, and happy Friday to you. I hope you're having a good one. Water Tornado 81 says good night. We'll hopefully catch you on the next one, my dude. Take care and stay safe. Scott Voice says, if using the radio, how many folks would go Nordo? Probably a few. So it's a decent sized airport here. It's a regional airport. Why you choose an X-Cub and not another plane? I picked this one tonight mainly for it's a little bit slow, it's rugged, and it has a very good autopilot. Benny P says the airplane I would really like to have a flight is with the Vickers VC-10. Do they still fly somewhere? I'm not sure. Steve35 says I work for a company that builds cement trucks. Nice. Would that be like the mixing bodies and stuff? Or the mixer bodies? Okay guys, we know the drill here. Murph has to land first. I'll get myself onto the runway, set up the L camera, and I will check he's all coming in. Do we all agree with that? King Lafford says, when someone subscribes or follows, what does the voice say? It'll either say, hey good buddy, or that's a big 10-4, or appreciate the comeback, or going to collect some green grass. It's all kind of trucker talk. Jen Lucas says, you're going to do a manual landing or an ILS? We're going to do a manual one. Look at the mountains in the distance. There'd be snow up there. Okay guys, so as I said, I'm going to land first. You guys keep kind of holding the pattern. And once I get down, our approach is going to come in from over the bigger kind of mass of water. And let's see what happens. Nice formation flying up here, by the way. That's real tidy looking. Kenneth Otten says VC-10 stopped flying in 2013, but there is some talk of getting one flying for contract. Cool. This is going to be fun. It's not a bad airport. Wait till you see when we get up to Sitka. There is zero room to make a mistake because if you go off the runway either side, you're in the wet. Lox Martin 21, good evening. Is this the end of your flight? Are you flying more tonight? I was just about to join. Yes, this is only our first stop. So once I land here, we're going to check out the other guys coming in for a landing. And we will rate them out of 10. And then after a couple of minutes, we're going to take off again and head for Sitka, which is Papa Alpha Sierra, India. Okay, Murph, no more reading the chat. Let's see if we can land this somewhat gently. We're coming in very fast, but that's okay. We have plenty of runway here. Runway 23. Don't mind him. We'll go over him. Lead off a bit of speed here. Another bit of speed. There's contact. Don't mind him. It's all good. Okay. Welcome to Petersburg. I'm going to exit the runway, spin off here to one side. Now guys, give me a couple of minutes and we get our camera set up so we can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so park and brake coming on. We'll very quickly shut this machine down. Avionics and lights, get all these guys off. Okay, cool. Right, so we need to do this one first, into general. We're going to go into traffic, turn on the nameplates, hit save, hit back, and resume. Cool. And then going to jump into this camera. Haha, we have life. Now 1 second guys, runway not open just yet. Turn up the speed, get us down here. Now bear with me, it's a little bit shaky. But we'll sort this out now in a jiffy. Runway open. Captain Australia's here. It's Mac Orchard from YouTube. Good evening. They're all coming in together. Nicely done. You guys just kind of appeared. Many thanks for the follow, Captain Australia. I do remember you, my dude. Cue the shameless plug and the popcorn bucket. Remember guys, if you're new here, if you do like this content, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow. Here comes Admiral Ted. Ooh. Ooh. The whole crowd goes ooh. That was definitely rough. Merlin Flyer making the approach. Not looking too bad. Bit of a float. Oh, look at the spacing here. This is going to be like formed meteor. That was a huge flare. Mind your spacing, dudes. P40 Warthog and SD Bama coming in together. That was butterly smooth. And that was butterly smooth. Nice work, my friends. Yeah, some of the, it's a bug with the landing gear. Not all of them come up. I am official. No, he's not. It's Tam official. As the Dread fan is doing wheelies and Yaki Biz. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Coley 205. One canny. Here comes Jacques and Niels. Owen Risk and Glum Tapestry. That's as close as you're gonna get it. It's okay, they were towing each other in. He was on a tow rope. Here comes Como. And Rustproof Snow coming in as well. That's looking like a nice landing. Very nice. It's looking good. Philip Breen. Nicely done, Phil Breen. Whisper Gaming coming in. Oh, very nice. Kind of. Oh! Maybe an issue with the internets. Okay. Holy moly, look at the amount of them. Donald Miller, we'll catch you the next time, my dude. He says, hey Murph, great flight, nice landings, everyone. Catch you later. We'll catch you on the next one, Donald. You take care. John Morris is here, says, hi, enjoying the flight tonight. Cool. G-Max says, my name in game is 1K9. Nice landing, my dude. So many names, can't see the runway. That's always the sign of a good stream. Because we have lots of players in here tonight, and I have to say, guys, by and large, a fantastic landing. Or landings. So this runway, as you can see, there's so much space to the left and right of it, which is what you want to see. The next one, not so much, which is going to be up in Sitka, or Sitka. So you guys continue flying around this area. As we get our face cam back on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to restart my sim because I've noticed over the last little while the drone camera doesn't like working. So the airport we just took off from, or that we just landed in, is Papa Alpha Papa Golf. Hello, hello. So restart the owl machine here. Gareth Harton says, hey Two-Tone, what's your thoughts on COVID? What can I say? It is what it is. I think everyone has their own opinion, but it is what it is. We try to adapt, I suppose, and overcome as best we can. Look out for each other, help each other. Follow the guidance from your governments. And that's about it. We can't do much more. Ed Reed says, I have no multiplayer. Okay, Ed, let's see if I can kind of talk you through it when the game restarts. Or the sim restarts. You can't say game at Flight Simmers, they get nuts. When the sim restarts, we shall see. Ed Reed says, never mind, out of here. Okay, Ed, we'll hopefully catch you on the next one, my dude. Annalisa says, droning on again. Yes, it is. Daza T Arab is here. Good evening to you, Daza. Happy Friday to you. Lox Martin says, I can't use online for some reason. Okay, we'll give it a second. Once the stream starts, or once the sim starts up, I'll go through my settings again and let's see if you guys can use it. Jake Buddy is here. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Andrew says, how come I couldn't see anyone? I'm not sure. It depends on your server, so we'll have to check that one out as well and see how it all kind of turns out. Andrew says, I was at PAPG on the same North Euro server. Did you select all players? We'll have a look. I'll go through my settings here, guys, and sure, if it all works, just kind of copy what I'm doing, and hopefully it should work. Sticky Rice says, I'll be back shortly, taking the missus to work. We'll see you shortly, Sticky Rice. Safe travels. Daza Tiarab says, next patch coming in the next 10 days. Correct. So I was reading through some of the updates they're due to release for the second patch. And, you know, what is annoying... where's this gone? The things that have been annoying in the sim so far, they've mentioned them in the patch. Performance improvements, ATC updates, UI updates. Well, the UI is, I don't know, it seems to be fine. Aerodynamic updates, that's going to be a huge one. Aircraft updates. Internet Gamer 49 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. So yeah, like some of the some of the updates that we're going to have. Aerodynamic updates, they're going to be important. The avionic updates are more important. Okay, we're going to jump to this. Shameless plug, that wasn't supposed to happen, but sure, believe it there. It's grand. Okay, so on this screen, this will be your home screen, yeah? So what we're going to do, I'm going to talk you through exactly how the multiplayer works. So first and foremost, we're going to select the world map. And our departure airport, we're going to type it in, which is going to be Papa Alpha Papa Golf. Once you type that in, it'll come up as Petersburg. We're going to select that. Now I always never go to, you know, like just leave it as the departure because it's going to put you on the runway. Click zoom to details and they'll give you a visual rendition of what the airport is. If you can't see any parking slots, hit this little drop down here and select parking. So I'm going to go for parking. Here's everyone, by the way. I'm going to go for there's so many. I'm going to go for parking over here. So set as departure. And our arrival airport now is going to be Papa Alpha Sierra India, which is Sitka, which is going to be over here. Okay, which is a 38-minute flight based on the aircraft in which we have selected. So that's our flight plan. That's what we're doing. We're then going to jump over to our aircraft selection. So you can pick whatever aircraft you want. I'm going to stay in the Cub Crafter. I like the X Cub. It's just a nice little plane. Liveries, weight and balance are going to change. I'm going to give myself a bit more fuel. We're not going to worry about failures. The ATC options. This is where you can give yourself a unique tail number. Make sure you put it into both. Click back on the little airplane. Next, we need to go over to flight conditions. This is important. Click on flight conditions. In here, you have multiplayer, air traffic, weather and time. Multiplayer, make sure you select all players. That's vital. That needs to happen. Air traffic, turn it off. You don't need to see other either procedurally generated or AI or real world traffic. It's just going to clog up the screen. If you're flying offline, by all means, but I'd leave that off. Weather and time, I would just leave it on preset. Hang on. Leave it on preset. Okay. Next up, over on the top right hand corner, you have your username. If you click on your username, it'll give you a status. Make sure that says online, and then it'll say servers. Now mine says automatic because North Europe. It'll always ping to the shortest distance or latency, right? So mine is on North Europe. Yours is going to be probably different. So you got to take, if you're not already on automatic North Europe, you got to manually change it to North Europe. So depending on where you are in the world, just select North Europe. And then once you select that, you're good to go. So with your flight conditions, it means that you're on all players, which is going to be us. You have your AI traffic turned off. You're on a preset, so we can change the time of day. And we are going to change the time of day. I don't know why that's saying nighttime. That's a glitch. I'm going to go for 16:55. And that's how it looks. So it's a 38-minute flight going across. That's how we set up everything. And that's what we need to do. So if you do all of that, or if you've done all of that, it should work. If it says for some reason my multiplayer function has disappeared, it won't let me select a network, and my PC is connected to the internet, locks, just restart the sim. It's probably a bug after getting in somewhere, so just restart it. That is the handiest thing to do. So we'll wait for this to load up, shall we? David Shefford is here. Good evening to you, David. Weather update will also be a good one to come. 100% as of yet. So the weather, it got a bit of attention for the first patch, but I think they're going to be working on more weather stuff, which is important because we need. Wrong button. So we definitely need it. Now, what am I looking for here? This one. Do I need to rejoin to put the flight plan? Yeah. Andrew says, thanks. First time doing multiplayer. That's okay. Annalisa says, just want to say fair play to you for being so helpful all the time. No problem. It's important that we help each other out, my dudes and dudes, or dudesses. It's important that we help each other out, only because, well, we all have an interest in virtual flying, I suppose, and also real aviation, so it's always handy to have someone, or some peoples, who might know certain things who can help other people. There is a limit to my knowledge, and don't worry, if I'm stuck, I will ask questions. Andrew says, yay, it worked. Fantastic. Philip Reed says, I'm not going to lie, it's kicking in. Expect a crash landing. Okay. So we're back on the ground here. I'm going to turn off the nameplates. So someone was asking earlier, how do you turn off the nameplates? So just go into your options by pressing escape. Click on general. Go down to traffic. Show traffic nameplates, select off. Apply and save. Go back and resume. And that's how we do that. So guys, no need for a big queue to take off. Just take off and start flying and keep circling around the airport until we all get up and about. Dazza says, if you're streaming tomorrow, I'll join, mate. I'll keep an eye on Discord. Nice. 100% Dazza. Philip Reed says, I've learned so much from yourself and the guys in chat. Super helpful. I'm all new to sim flying. I'm new to sim flying. No hassle at all, Philip. Don't forget, guys, if I press this button correctly, we have a Discord. So if you're new here, and you need a bit of help, be sure to jump over. Joseph Gambino asks, are we flying multiplayer soon? We're flying right now, Joe. Jump on in. Skyfly Bry is here. Good evening to you. So yeah, guys, so don't forget, you can just take off, fly a couple of patterns around the airport, and we'll join you now real soon. So, what I need to do, I need to refill my jar with some more Dingle Gin. So bear with me. We're not going anywhere. Gareth Harkness asks, Murph, when you get beyond 2,500 and hit the approach switch, should it line up with the runway? It depends. If you're flying in a ILS landing, you need to make sure that your nav radios are tuned in. Vic says, I won't be flying tonight. No, he doesn't. Skyfly Bryce says, I won't be flying tonight. Vic is here. When you're doing online with us, we're doing it now, dude. GMAX says, you're not in the X Club. I should be. Okay, guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll jump back to you, and we'll hopefully get the show on the road. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Let me see. Jam Fjord says, trying to pour my G&T in taxi while I chat. This will go horribly wrong. It always can do. Now, 1 second here. Jump over here. Ooh. Ah. Look at that. The sim crashed. Why? Rip, stream, rip. We need to start this again, I think. We do time it well, don't we? The guards are eyeing you up, Murph. A moose, eh? Could be a deer, though. That's a great username. He says Alaska. Good evening to you. Happy Friday. Time for the dances. Yeah. No idea what happened there, but hopefully it's grand. I will give it a couple of minutes and I should boot back up relatively shortly. As we have background noise. How long are you at Flight Simulator? Asked Kieran Isle. As in how long am I using Flight Simulators? Flight Sim 95 I think was the first one I got. Way back when I was a little fella. Everyone needs to dance. This is the slow-mo version. Slow moonwalking while... Anyway, you know what that is. Ethan Short is here. How's it going, Murph? Have I missed anything? Only on now. Not too much, dude. We took off from Wrangell Airport, headed over to Cake, and we're now in a place called Petersburg, and we're heading over to Sitka. It's all in Alaska. And it's amazing countryside. Absolutely beautiful. Billy says, uh-oh, not this again. Let's hope. Joseph Gambino says, what's the departure airport? It will be Papa Alpha Papa Golf. Petersburg. Let's see how that all turns out, shall we? Scott says, you're really going to like Sitka. I remember from like FSX, and it was just like, I remember like it was one of the missions in it, and it was like a sunset approach into Sitka, and it was incredible. Dangerous Brian says, had an email back from Logitech and they are working on a driver for the flight panels to work. It should be a matter of weeks. Awesome, dude. Pilots need to learn how to slow fly while circling, says Papa Joe B. I agree. Take your time. Okay, let's see if this works again, shall we? And if it doesn't, there will be all sorts of crack. Now, speaking of which, X-Plane 11 has officially launched in the 1150, which is the Vulcan and metal upgrade. And as a result, Wow is now following. Many thanks, my dude. As a result, it's unbelievably busy because there are so many updates to all the aircraft, so you got to update them all. Alright, let's see if all this works. Hopefully it does. I'm not in the mood for a night of gremlins. That's good about the flight panels. Yeah, like it's I used to have all of those. So I'd be kind of just a little bit kind of if I couldn't use them. So that's good to see. Canon Not says, have I seen the Scottish Aviation Bulldog in X-Plane 11? I have. It looks great. Chippy says, I took a VR flight in X-Plane last night, butter smooth with Vulcan with a Rift S. Awesome. Okay, let this load in, shall we? Okay, let's hope everything works. Cat says, sim crashed again. Yeah, it kind of does that. Okay, we should be good to go. And let's hope we are. So escape, go to end. There are certainly a lot of aircraft. Do. Is everyone here? Do we have traffic? The skies seem a bit quiet. We are online. Oh, look at that. West server. That's never a good thing. So they could be having issues with their servers. That's probably why we got a crash. But fear not. I'm sure we'll figure it all out. Get that up and running here now. Fuel pump, left tank, and go for start. Ignition switches. It's alive. There's some planes. We got it working. We can do it. Alternator coming on. Nav, landing. All the lights come on. So we're going to set 3,000 feet. Or maybe 4,000 feet. Okay, time to get airborne here, shall we? Oh, we're not. Oh, don't tell me it's going to crash again. Let's see what's happening, shall we? It worked for 11 seconds. Microsoft Crash Simulator. Annalisa, my thoughts exactly. I wonder, maybe there's updates or updates too. Like I saw tonight, there were Windows took on an update, but it's been working fine for the last while. I reckon it's a server issue. They did say. Dangerous Brian says, you broke it, Murphy. I was reading earlier whereby they had said that there's going to be issues with some of the other aircraft being used in the sim that can cause issues on the servers. So let's see. It's inspiring music though, I'll give it that. Ross Delaney says, background music is a tune. Tune! GUE944 says, are your drivers updated? Yeah, they should be. Annalisa says, getting tired from all the dancing. You're going to be a pro now. Check for updates for the graphics. you have the latest GeForce Game Ready driver. So it's not a hardware thing, it's a Microsoft thing. Third time a charm, says Joseph Gambino. I know, right? It would want to be. But yeah, like, look at, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That works. But no, basically they were saying, like, if there's any issues in relation to the servers, it has the ability to crash your sim, because they get timeouts. It's like they ping different nodes or whatever, and there'll be a timeout, and then it jumps back. So what is interesting, the fact that it was looking for the West Europe server the last time is a huge indication saying that there's an issue. So we shall see, shall we? So to test everything, to make sure it all works, let's try it all again. PAPG. There's Petersburg. And it's going to be PASI. We'll jump in there. Don't need to do that into the X character. We'll just take it for granted that it's going to work. By conditions. Okay. Fingers crossed, toes crossed. Light a candle, and let's see what happens. Vic says, can I still join it? Yeah, give it a shot. It happens to my machine, so you guys could be fine. JT says, Turt, try as a charm. Love the Irish accent. 33 and a third. What server are you on? Not sure yet. Hog driver, we'll give it a shot once it loads up. It should be on North Europe. So hopefully it doesn't crash. It has been known to do this from time to time. Okay, so we've started on the ramp. So in the words of Murphy, let's get vertical. Let's see here now. I tried 5 times, it's not working, says, yeah, it's ripped. We've killed it. That's a pity. So, some diagnostics, please. How do we fix this one? So, how do we troubleshoot a crash if you ever find a crash like this? So the first thing we try to do is, well, rule out the possibilities. So figure out, is it a local issue or is it indeed a sim issue? So a way to do that is type in event viewer. So if we go into event viewer, we've had 3 application errors. So saying defaulting application name is Flight Simulator EXE. Does it say what's wrong? Report ID. It doesn't actually say what it is. Defaulting process ID. Let's see, can we figure out what this is, shall we? So the error, the error that the PC is actually detecting, it's a legacy error. It's actually in there from the ESP platform, which is interesting. So it's a bug. That's mad. They kept the same coding. Scott said, I put a couple of Alaska photos in Discord. Cool. Another option is, of course, reboot the PC. But that makes things go very dark and very quiet. We have a hey good buddy. Who's that from? Hot Driver 101. Many thanks, my dude. That's the sound I'm after. So it suddenly stopped working. And then I had to restart my PC. Anyway, it's grand. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, because it is this time, it's still early, and we still have a flight left to do. I'm going to shut everything down, restart the PC. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is a good time, you can ramble out for a bite to eat, you can use a bathroom break, you can refill your drink for this evening, and talk amongst yourselves in Discord. So anyone watching now, ramble over to Discord. I'm going to put the link up there now. Do be sure to ramble over, and as soon as if I can fix the issue, that is, I'll let you know on Discord, and we'll jump back online. So we're going to try for the Discord. No, we're not. We're going to try for the reboot. As Samuel Lafay comes in. Good evening. Right, guys, I just need to do a quick system shutdown and restart because there is an issue. So hopefully the restart will fix it. Yeah, we'll catch you in a few minutes. Hold on to yourselves and stay tuned.